Okay, so I need to tell you about this girl Bianca from my friend group. We've all known her for a few years now, and she's always been a bit of a drama queen. She loves being the center of attention, and sometimes that can be entertaining, but other times it's just cringeworthy. Anyway, so Bianca had been going through a tough time financially, and we'd all noticed that she was struggling to make ends meet. We'd even offered her money a few times, but she always said no, saying she was fine. But I've learned over the years that when someone says they're fine, it's usually because they're not. So, one day, Bianca comes to us and tells us that she's been robbed. Like, genuinely robbed. She claims that some guys broke into her house and stole all her valuables, including her phone, laptop, and a bunch of cash. We were all shocked, because we knew Bianca had always been paranoid about security, but this seemed like something out of a movie. Which what? I mean, how did she even manage to fake a robbery that convincingly? And why would she do it? Was it just desperation, or was there more to it? We didn't know at the time, but as we started digging deeper, we began to suspect that maybe Bianca wasn't telling us the whole truth. Uma, who's one of my closest friends and also Bianca's friend, mentioned that she had seen Bianca arguing with someone earlier that week. Oscar, another close friend, chimed in and said he'd seen Bianca using her phone to look up ways to hide evidence online. And I'll never forget the way Bianca seemed so relieved when we all started asking her more questions, like she knew we were onto something. And I know what you're thinking, why didn't we just believe her? Why did we have to go and investigate further? But honestly, it's because of people like us. We're a pretty skeptical bunch, especially after Bianca's history of exaggerating or making up stories. So when she spun this wild tale about being robbed, we had our doubts. But at the same time, we didn't want to believe that our friend was lying to us. That would have been hard to accept. So we decided to play it cool and see how far Bianca would take this story. Little did we know what was waiting for us down the rabbit hole. As we continued to probe Bianca with questions, I noticed a faint tremble in her voice when she mentioned specific details of the supposed robbery, like the color of the getaway car or the exact amount of money stolen. Oscar, being the self-proclaimed detective of our group, took it upon himself to dig deeper online, using Bianca's phone to search for any clues that might link back to her. Uma, on the other hand, seemed more interested in Bianca's emotional state. She kept asking her if she was okay, if this was some kind of cry for help, or if there was something specific that had triggered this fabricated story. But Bianca just brushed it off, saying she was fine and that we should focus on finding the real thief. As the conversation went back and forth, I couldn't shake the feeling that Bianca was hiding something. There were too many inconsistencies in her story, too many convenient details that didn't add up. And yet, every time we pressed her for more information, she seemed to sidestep our questions with a smile or a laugh. Oscar, however, had hit pay dirt. He showed us the search results he'd found, and it was clear that Bianca had spent some serious time researching online how to cover her tracks. But there were still too many red flags, not enough of them to be dismissed as mere paranoia. That's when Oscar suggested we confront Bianca with our findings. I remember feeling a mix of emotions, concern for our friend, but also anger and betrayal. How could she do this to us? We'd always been there for her, supported her through thick and thin, and now it seemed like she was more interested in manipulating us than keeping the truth. As we gathered around Bianca, phones at the ready, I couldn't help but wonder what had led her down this path. Was it desperation? Greed? Or was this some kind of twisted experiment to see how far she could push her friends? And then, just as we were about to pounce on her with our evidence, Uma dropped a bombshell. Guys, I think Bianca's not the only one involved. My heart skipped a beat. What did she mean? Was there someone else in on the scheme? The room fell silent, and all eyes were fixed on Bianca, waiting for her response. Bianca took a deep breath, looking around the room with a mix of defiance and desperation. I'm not alone, she repeated, her voice trembling slightly. I have an alibi, guys. I didn't do it myself. The room erupted into a chorus of angry murmurs and accusations, but Bianca raised her hands to quiet us down. Just hear me out, she said, her eyes darting between each of us. I did fake the robbery, but I wasn't doing it just for myself. There was someone else involved, pulling the strings. Uma's words had given Bianca a chance to breathe, and now she continued, we were in deep financial trouble. We couldn't pay our rent, and my parents were threatening to cut me off if things didn't improve. I made a deal with Alex, she spat out his name, and he agreed to help me out in exchange for favors. The room fell silent once more, this time in stunned silence. Oscar's face was red with rage, while Uma looked like she'd been punched in the gut. As for me, I felt like I'd been living a lie. Alex's name was whispered around the room, and we couldn't believe that our friend had stooped so low. How could someone you trusted so deeply betray your trust like this? Bianca continued, her voice cracking with emotion. I know it doesn't excuse what he did, but I was desperate. And once I got involved, it got out of control. He manipulated me, used my desperation against me. I didn't mean to hurt any of you. The room erupted into a cacophony of emotions, anger, sadness, betrayal, but as we listened to Bianca's words, something shifted inside me. I couldn't believe what was happening, that our friend had been manipulated and coerced into this twisted scheme. But as the truth sank in, I realized that it wasn't Bianca who was the real villain, it was Alex, whoever he was. And now, with the truth out, we knew exactly where to start. As the group began to discuss what we would do next, Uma turned to me and whispered, "We need to report this." Her eyes locked onto mine, a fierce determination burning within them. I nodded in agreement, feeling a sense of solidarity with my friends that I'd never felt before. Together, we would bring Alex down, no matter what it took. I still can't believe this happened.